in front of Donald Trump, and you see guys getting mad of stupid calls and getting ejected.
Amon-Ra got slapped in the face, punched in the face. This was up to the Lions standard. This is the standard that the Lions are known to play with. This is going to be a great game. This is the one, like I said, we're all circling our calendar for.
That is incredible. The Pistons are doing incredible. They're playing outstanding.
Welcome back to Your Detroit Now. We got a great show ahead of us talking Lions, MSU basketball for the first time, UofM basketball for the first time, Pistons and Red Wings. Both UofM and MSU college football are on a bye. We got a great show ahead of us. My name's Emilio. This is my co-host Musa. What up, Moose?
What up?
Like I said, a great show ahead of us. Let's start off with the event that just took place. The Lions beat the Commanders in an exciting game. Musa, tell us about the game real quick.
It was very exciting going into the big Capitol in front of Donald Trump.
President Trump was there. So exciting. We saw him in the booth with the announcers. Very, very cool. We were able to give him a good show.
On Veterans Day. Let's get into some of the stats around the game. Jared Goff, 25 for 33, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marcus Mariota, 16 for 22, 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 11 carries for 30 yards. J-Mo, welcome back, J-Mo.
Welcome back, J-Mo. Get J-Mo in the offense, and he did.
6 receptions, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. Traylon Burks, 3 receptions for 58 yards. Brian Branch, 1.5 sacks. The Commanders didn't get to Jared Goff because we had an incredible O-line with Christian Mahogany out. Jack Campbell, 9 tackles for 4 solo. Bobby Wagner, 9 tackles for 6 solo. Just really great. Would you like to add anything onto this, Emilio?
Yeah, I think the O-line was so impressive today. Let's jump into the team stats. Total yards, 546 to 288. Lions destroyed there. No turnovers for both teams, which is interesting to see. 30 first downs. Musa, that's outstanding. Versus 14 first downs. Penalties, 3 for 1. Versus their 8 for 61. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Third downs, we were 5 for 10. Versus their 2 for 10, 20% for them. Low third down conversion. Both teams were perfect when it came to fourth downs. 2 for 2 versus 3 for 3. Red zone, we went 4 for 6 versus their 3 for 3. In time of possession, 32-36 versus 27-24. Musa, let's talk about the penalties. We saw players getting ejected. We saw the Commanders' defense was really frustrated with the Lions. We really got under their skin, it felt like. And that's always kind of exciting. As a fan of the team who was able to really get into the head of the other team, we were so dominant on offense, and it only helped our case when it came to penalties and them making careless mistakes.
Yeah, they were not very smart. They were let their feelings getting out. They let their feelings get the best of them.
100%.
And you just gotta. This is a sport where everyone has gotta. This is a sport where everyone loves football. Like you see everyone getting happy when they score the first NFL touchdowns, and you see guys getting mad of stupid calls and getting ejected.
Yeah, it's a very emotional game, but man, did we really keep our composure? Amon-Ra got slapped in the face, punched in the face. I didn't really get a good look if his hand was open or closed, but we got in their head, and it was very interesting to see, and that's why they went 8 for 61. The other thing to talk about, Musa, was Dan Campbell calling the plays? I think he was. Did John Morton get a demotion?
Yeah, I think so. I was weird. Maybe I was more concerned he was wearing glasses because like that's what caught my eye, thinking that why he was calling the plays.
I saw the glasses and I told my brother, I was like, why is he wearing glasses? He's never done that. Maybe I was thinking it was the time change. It's getting dark. He needs his glasses to see the players' numbers. But no, we saw the play sheet in his hand. He was calling the plays, I think.
Maybe this is shows where you shouldn't have any coordinator. Well, I'm that's bad. That's bad talk. But like Ben Johnson, I think this is how Ben Johnson works in his offense. Sometimes calls the plays, and I think Dan Campbell got some inspiration.
Yeah, we see Ben Johnson calling his own plays. It's not unheard of for a head coach to call their own plays, but man, it is exciting to see. And it felt like the Lions of last year when we went on our offensive dominant run. This is exactly that kind of feeling. We were taking deep shots, we were seeing play action. Dan Campbell hasn't officially said he was calling the plays. We all know, or we all feel, he was calling the plays. As he said, it was time to make a change, just wanted to see what would happen if we made the change. So very interesting to see, and I really liked what I saw. Very aggressive, and the play action, the deep shots were back, which was the most fun thing to see.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I also like to break down something. Isn't it kind of funny how your starting safety leads the entire game with sacks?
I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't want to, talk poorly about the O line, but man, Brian Branch, I didn't realize he played that good of a game compared to the rest of the D line.
Yeah, and I also like to point something out. Way, way, way better than last week. Three penalties for 1 yard. Like I gotta give a shout out.
100%. And the other thing I wanted to talk about that might not get enough attention, zero punts. Sorry, Jack Fox, no playing time for you today. I'll walk you through, Musa, the events that took place. Lions start off with a touchdown, 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 field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal. That took the entire game. That's how we got all 41 points, zero turnovers, zero punts. This is the kind of game that is exciting to see. Let's talk a little bit about the odds and what Vegas had to say. The Lions came into the game minus 3.5 point favorites, which is, it's close, but considering Jaden Daniels is out, I thought that the line would get moved more in the Lions' favor. In the money line, the Lions were minus 400, and the Lions came into the game with a 63.8% chance of winning. By the third quarter, this quickly got up to 98%. So very exciting to see an early win, an early dominant performance by the Lion.
Yeah, this just shows this shows that the 15-2 Lions are back.
They're back, man, and they were talking pregame. Is 10 wins going to be enough to make it to the playoff in the NFC in the Fox Sports pregame show? So I think the Lions are on the right track. They played an outstanding game. I saw everything I wanted to see in this game and more. As Jared Goff said in the conversation right after with the sideline reporter, this was up to the Lions standard. This is the standard that the Lions are known to play with.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Musa, final thoughts on this game as we're quickly going to talk about next week's game against the Eagles in Philadelphia.
Massive turnaround from last week. I'm so proud of these guys.
100%. Let's talk about next week's game in Philly. This was the game all Lions fans were scheduling. Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. Eagles are favored, currently sitting at 6-2. Sunday Night Football. Musa, give me something. Give me your breakdown. Give me your takes.
We've been waiting all day for Sunday. That was really bad. But Sunday Night Football, the Detroit Lions are traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles. It's going to be a really, really tough matchup.
100%. Eagles are currently favored with a 53.5% chance of winning. Vegas currently has Eagles minus 1.5. Lions money line is even versus the Eagles sitting at minus 120. Jared Goff has roughly 300 more passing yards than Jalen Hurts. Our running back Jahmyr Gibbs has roughly 30 more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. Our receiving yards are way more. Aiden Hutchinson, our sack leader, is up. Jet Campbell, as our tackles leader, is also leading that statistic. So this is going to be a great game. This is the one, like I said, we're all circling our calendar for. I'm really, really excited to watch this game, and I think this is going to be potentially Lions' toughest game of the season, considering the Ravens have kind of fallen off since we beat them. The
They're
Packers,
coming.
who beat us, are not as scary of a team as we thought they'd be. So this is a game that could really, really prove pivotal and display what kind of team the Lions are.
And let's not forget the Eagles are the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Musa, final thoughts as we're wrapping up football and moving over to college basketball.
Uh, can't wait to watch it on the best channel in football.
That's true. That is true.
You
All right,
mean,
Musa, let's talk college basketball. The college basketball season is here. I am so excited.
same.
Izzo's coaching his 31st season with the Spartans, and man, it is exciting to see a good Spartan sports team. Wouldn't you agree to that?
No, because I'm not a Spartans fan, and I want to see U of M, um, beat you guys this season.
Well, I obviously do not want to see that, but let's talk about the Spartans before we go into U of M basketball. Spartans beat Arkansas in an exciting 69-66 win in the Breslin Center. This is a great game. Some ups, some downs, but it was early. It was early game. The Spartans showed a lot of fight. There was a point in the game where Arkansas was favored by 65%. And eventually
That's
the Spartans came back and obviously ended up winning the game. But late in the fourth quarter, Arkansas was favored to win this. So exciting, exciting game. Showed a lot of fight. Izzo loved what he saw. He saw, fight, determination, aggressiveness. This is everything that an Izzo basketball team would have. Let's talk a little bit about the team stats and the numbers. Spartans were 41% from the field goal. Three-pointers were low, only sitting at 7.1%. Turnovers, 14. Ugly. But we ended up with the win. We're going to clean that up as the season goes on. And the one I am most proud of and the one I'm most excited about, 45 rebounds. Musa, that is awesome. Unbelievable to see and extremely exciting.
Yeah, that's good for you guys, but I don't care about MSU college basketball. I care about U of M college basketball.
Yeah, but like we all know, eventually there's going to be a head-to-head matchup in January 30th. So that'll be exciting. That's the one we're circling our calendars for. That's the big showdown before our next matchup, which is in March 8th. Following that, March Madness will start, and that is when real college basketball gets so exciting. Let's talk a little bit about expectations before we head over to U of M basketball. For the Spartans, I think the expectation is to make at least the Elite Eight. Hopefully, we can get into a 1 or a 2 seed by that point. The Spartans lost some players, they gained some more. Last year, we entered the tournament as the 2 seed. Would love to make it back to the Elite Eight and potentially go on a deep, deep run into March Madness. That is what the expectation should be for the Spartans this year.
Hmm.
All right, Musa, I'll let you take it off to college basketball, U of M.
I gladly talk about that. We're heading over to U of M basketball where the Wolverines crushed Oakland 121 to 78. Really great start to kick off the season.
Yeah, this is a game that U of M never lost their win probability below 97. So U of M was favored to win this, obviously, and they put on a great showing.
Let's go over some stats on the game. Field goal percentage 64 to 64.3, 3-point percentage 54.3, turnovers 8 and rebounds 40. I am really excited about that 40 rebounds. That is incredible.
Yeah, that is exciting. It's almost MSU good.
But Michigan is better.
Yeah, but we played a better team.
Whatever. On November 11th, 6:30, we will be versing Wake Forest. We have an 84.9% chance of winning.
Yeah, I saw that. That's probably accurate. I think U of M should be pretty dominant in this game.
I have very high expectations. My goal for the Wolverines is to beat you guys.
That's it?
Oh, and maybe make it into the top five.
Well, that would be a good, goal, but I think we'll beat you twice. Would not surprise me.
I think you'll not.
I think so. And you know what? Let's do a friendly wager on the show again. Last time the fans didn't get to see that. Musa, if MSU beats U of M, will you wear an MSU shirt on the show?
I don't know where I'm gonna find MSU shirts around here. But if Michigan wins, you will wear a Michigan shirt.
I'll wear that same shirt I wore last time.
Okay, but what if it's tied 1-1?
If it's tied 1-1, we will. Do we both wear it?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay, Musa, if it's tied 1-1, I guess we'll both have to wear it.
Virtual shake.
All right, Musa, so we got an exciting bet on the line here. Exciting college basketball season to look forward to for the Spartans, especially with how terrible the football season has been. Let's really quick touch on college football here. Both the Spartans and the Wolverines were on a bye, so nothing to report on that. When we come back from the bye this Saturday, the Spartans will play Penn State at home. Penn State just took a tough loss to Indiana. So this is always going to be an interesting game with Penn State. They fired James Franklin. We'd love to have James Franklin as the new MSU coach, assuming they end Jonathan Smith's contract at the end of the season. So exciting game coming up. Penn State versus MSU. Some things I want to see: more composure from the quarterback room. I mean, we got to make smart plays, no turnovers. I want to see explosive plays. I want to see short gains for the opposing team. So I want to see Penn State not have these massive deep shots, these massive 20-plus yard plays. I want to contain the run, and I really want to see signs of life from the coaching staff. That is like the biggest thing. Currently, Penn State has a nearly 80% chance of winning, and they're currently minus 6.5-point favorites. So that's all I have to say regarding this Penn State MSU game. Looking forward to it, but I'm afraid it's not going to go the way we want.
Miller, I'd like to point something out. Penn State is literally you guys. They're 3-6. They're both. Oh, your guys are both 0-6 in the Big Ten, and you guys are both. I think you guys are both on a 6-game losing streak. Yeah, you're both on a 6-game losing streak. So whoever wins this will decide who gets the bottom of the Big Ten.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant for the Big Ten. So can I ask you this question, though? Who would you rather be, Penn State or MSU?
Who would I want to be?
Yeah, well, who would you rather be? Both are 3-6. Both are 0-6 in the Big Ten. Both are on a 6-game losing streak. Who would you want to be?
Ooh. I would want to be honestly Penn State.
I think that's the correct answer. It's a better football program. I think it's a more desirable job for a high recruit coach. So I think that is the correct answer.
That and Penn State has a 79.3% chance of winning.
Oh, absolutely. They are a better football team than us. And I think that'll be on full display this Saturday. This would by far be the biggest win in Jonathan Smith's career here at MSU. And that's so embarrassing. Potentially biggest win to be against a team that fired their head coach, 0-6 in the Big Ten, and to have the laundry list of accomplishments that they have had this season. All right, Musa, let's send it over to Wolverine football. The Wolverines had a bye this weekend, and I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Emilio. 12 o'clock p.m., November 15th, the 21st Michigan Wolverines will be taking on the Northwestern Wildcats at at Wrigley Field, which is known as a baseball field.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was seeing that. This is going to be a really fun game to watch.
Michigan is going to this game with a 79.2% chance of winning. Um, that's like lock in votes that we're gonna win. And we're just doing great this season. I know we have two away games in a row, and then last game we were take against the Buckeyes at the Big House. I just want this to be more explosive plays, more better play calling, more deep shots, and blowout.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game to watch, especially with the Wrigley Field element. I'm looking at the season leaders, and U of M's dominant in everything but receiving yards. They're down about 200 yards compared to Northwestern, and I don't think that'll prove pivotal or prove to be the reason the Wolverines can't pull this off. I do think the Wolverines will pull this off, but that is something interesting to know. All right, Musa, producer Chris is screaming at me. Let's head over to college basketball where the Pistons are currently sitting at the number one in the East.
That is incredible. The Pistons are doing incredible. They're playing outstanding.
They are playing so good, so exciting to see what they're doing. At the time of recording, they're currently playing the 76ers with a score of 99 Pistons to 94 76ers. The game currently has 6 minutes left, so hopefully the Pistons can close this one out. Currently have roughly an 80% chance of winning, so this is exciting to see. Hopefully they can finish the night sitting at 8-2, currently sitting at 7-2.
And if we win this game, we'll be going on a 6-game winning streak.
I know it's going to be so exciting if we can get this done. And let's talk a little bit about how things stand as the season is still only about 10 games in. Like I said earlier, Pistons are sitting at the number one in the Eastern Conference. Cleveland is only a half game back as they've played one more game. But if we can win tonight, that'll make it a full game lead. Like Musa said, currently on a 5-game win streak. And let's talk about their home versus away records. Pistons are currently 3-1 at home and 3-1 on the road. That is so exciting to see. The only thing that concerns me about the Pistons, and I know it's super early into the season and there's only a 2-game sample size here, so that's low. We're 0-2 in the division. Those tiebreakers become even more important as the season goes on.
Yeah, that's not great to be 0-2 in your own division. And that reminds me of the Lions in right now. That reminds me of the Lions right now in their division.
It's reminding me about MSU being 0-6 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you can say it like that. That's better. That's a better example.
Is that a better example? Did you like that one?
It's a better example.
Let's talk about Cade Cunningham and the rest of the team. Cade's averaging 25.6 points per game. Is that exciting or what, Musa?
He's playing like an MVP candidate.
So that was one of my questions I was going to ask you. You jumped right to it. Is Cade Cunningham the early season MVP?
I mean, it's biased if I say yes, but am I wrong?
I feel like it's really an indefensible argument. I think he is the early season MVP to be the captain and the best player of the team that is in the 1 seed. I think that is, automatically puts you as a front runner, and he has the stats to back it up. He's playing outstanding basketball right now. And because of the games he's playing, because of how he's doing, because he played last Friday, 33 minutes, 72% from the field goal, 33% from the three-point line, 100% on his free throws, 34 total points. Last game he played before that, 31 total points. Game before that, 33 total points. Cade Cunningham is easily winning my player of the week, being so dominant, so good with the basketball, with his 3 games in a row, plus 30 points. Currently tonight he's sitting at 19. I have no doubt by the end of it, he will be sitting at 20 plus.
Great pick. Melly, I forgot to pick my player of the week, but I'm going to right now. Is it even debatable? Jahmyr Gibbs. I saw a stat in the game. He is top five for scrimmage touchdowns before turning 24. He is number five, and all four players are in front of him are Hall of Famers. It's no doubt that I am choosing him as my player of the week.
Jameer Gibbs is a great pick. All right, Musa, final subject before we hit the phones. NHL. Detroit Red Wings are currently sitting at 9-7 and third in the Atlantic Division. Currently, the Red Wings took a tough loss against Chicago that puts them at a 3-game losing streak. Compared to earlier in the season when they won 5 in a row, this is tough to see. Let's talk about standings before we get into some of the individual stats. So like I said, Red Wings are currently tied for third in their division. We talked earlier about how it was so important to be dominant at home. Last week they were at 5-0 at home. Currently they're sitting at 5-3 at home. On the road they are 4-4. Their point differential is -5. It's very hard to make it far and deep into the season with a -5 point differential. So we have to turn that around. They took a tough loss today against Chicago, like I said. So hopefully that is the only reason they're at a -5 point differential. And eventually, I assume that they can switch out of this. They got to start playing better hockey. Dylan Larkin currently sitting at 9 goals total. Alex DeBrincat at 11 assists. And Dylan Larkin is leading the team in total points at 19. Musa, anything specific we should see out of the Red Wings as they're about to enter a rather tough part of their schedule?
Keep doing what you're doing. I don't think there's anything that needs to be adjusted. I think they're doing great.
Yeah, I know I hate to say it, but it's so early in the season right now. They only have 16 games in out of a long season. It's not that much. They're currently with a winning record, so that's a great sign now. And as the boys start playing together more and more and more, and as the season goes on, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll check in again. Thanksgiving is only a few weeks away, and that is the first major checkpoint when it comes to hockey standings. We'll have a much better idea of where things are then. All right, Musa, that's all we have. Let's hit the phones.
All right, let's get it.
All right, Musa, first question. Actually, I was reading this and I was a little bit excited to talk about it. I think producer Chris slipped in a question here.
You did?
I think so. Producer Chris says, Musa, can you give MSU a compliment? And Emilio, can you give U of M a compliment? I'll start first because I know this will be tough for you. My compliment to U of M is it's a school that genuinely cares about its football program. MSU can't, I feel like MSU can't say the same. U of M, I feel, is a university that cares about their football program and genuinely wants to win.
And here's the tough one. My compliment to MSU. Even though we don't have one, you guys have a good mascot.
I'll take it. I'll take it. You like
Yeah.
Sparty?
I don't like him, but Michigan doesn't have one, and I'm kind of upset about that. But
You
you
a little
guys do.
jealous?
All right, it's that or nothing.
All right, we'll take it.
Take
I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get.
take it or leave it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, Musa. Next question comes from Mike in Flint. Mike wants to know how can U of M make the college football playoffs?
I believe this is a question for me.
I think so.
How can you even make the playoffs? I feel like the only way is taking down Ohio State.
Yeah, I know we're starting to see a lot of our projections for the college football playoffs. I think, with Ohio State being where they are, and U of M is obviously going to play them later in the season, I think that is the biggest way to ensure a spot in the college football playoffs. Currently ranked 21, Ohio State's number 1. You beat Ohio State, that is a big ranking swing.
And of course, we need some top tier teams to drop.
Yeah, but can U of M make it on their own?
Um, I don't see why not. I think they can make it in.
If all the teams ahead of them win out, theoretically, I know there's some teams that will play each other, but if all the teams ahead of them, keep their spot, if is that win against Ohio State enough to get you guys into the playoffs?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's a big enough win that could get you into the top 12. I think it is. Especially considering what happened last year, they were unranked. So there's always a chance against these games. Ohio State is what? 50-1 against unranked opponents?
And guess who that one lot? And guess who that one loss was to?
You guys.
And that was, I think that wasn't even with a half a roster. That was like with a quarter of a roster. And our two best players were out, Will Johnson and Colston Loveland.
Yeah. So big asterisk on their national championship season for sure.
And I think it's gonna happen. I think we will go. I think our win streak is gonna go 5 wins in a row against those Buckeyes.
Obviously, as a Michigan sports fan, I'm absolutely rooting for that to happen. I'm rooting for the U of M upset against Ohio State and get into the college football playoffs. That would be so exciting to see.
Now I'm excited to see the best rivalry in college football.
100%. But we will talk more about that game as it gets closer.
We shall. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Please come watch our next video. This is Your Detroit Now.